anybody who's from one of the apparently 51 Plymouths that are in the world would likely have heard of the Mayflower, which is the ship that set sail from Plymouth with the Pilgrims and then landed in the US, and then aptly named where they landed Plymouth, because they weren't very creative with names. What I didn't know until recently is that there's actually another ship that was intended to go along with the Mayflower, the Speedwell, but the Speedwell didn't make it there because there were some issues with leaking. The ship had actually come, as it says here, from Holland with members of the Leiden congregation. I went there to Leiden earlier this year. It's a very lovely place. So I thought that was particularly interesting, particularly because I had lived in the area of Plymouth, UK Plymouth, that is called Buckland, and there is a street there, Speedwell, which I would have walked along to go to school. And I don't know how many people think about the origins of the names of the streets that you live on or that you walk past, what it represents, was there before, or what part of history someone has decided to keep alive through those place names. So it would be interesting when you're out and about to think about the street names near you and if there is any history attached. So there's the Speedwell goes on to Culver Way, which is kind of like the main road for that area of Buckland. And so I googled, there was an Edward Culver who was born in 1600 in Somerset, and then he was one of the people that went along on the Mayflower. There's a Westcott Close, which is where the Buckland Secondary School is, and there was a Joanna Westcott who boarded the Mayflower. There's also, I've put Rigdale Gardens, but it's actually Rigdale Close here, which backs onto the school. And there were Rigdales, although there's an interesting little bit about the Rigdales because it's unclear whether they actually got off the ship or died or not. It's very confusing. And years ago, I actually lived in Lee Court, which also backs onto the school. I used to use it to get in and out of the school when I couldn't be bothered to stay for the whole day, the gate in our back garden. But there was William Lee, born in 1604, Gloucestershire, who went to America. So I just found it really interesting, that little part of history just from that small area of Plymouth. And, you could write a little book